My name is Daniel and I stutter. I've stuttered since I was a kid. At first it was crippling. Speaking in class was a nightmare, and even ordering food made me sweat. But over time, I stopped letting it define me. Instead, I started using my voice, shaky as it sometimes is, to talk about resilience, communication, and what it really means to be heard. By my mid-20s, I delivered several public talks on speech disorders and communication inclusivity. And this year, I was honored with an invitation to deliver the keynote address at the National Speech and Communication Conference in Chicago. It was a big deal, a gathering of professionals, educators, therapists, and researchers from across the country. My talk was titled, "Every Voice Deserves the Mic." 2 days before the event, I flew into my sister's neighborhood in a quiet suburb just outside the city. She offered me a spare room so I could prepare and get some rest. I arrived, settled in, and decided to take a walk around the block the next morning to rehearse out loud, something that helps me find my rhythm. That's when I met Karen. Karen is one of those neighbors who walks around like she owns the zip code. Head always high, outfit always pressed, voice always loud. When I passed her in front of her rose bushes, I gave a polite nod and said, Good morning." She looked at me, blinked, and then smirked. "Well, that was something," she said. I tried to smile it off, but she wasn't done. "Are you okay?" she asked, voice dripping with that performative concern. "You sound like you're glitching." I blinked, stunned. I, stutter," I said, taking a breath. Karen chuckled. "Oh, wow. Okay, that explains it." She mimicked the stutter poorly, mockingly. Sorry," she added, grinning. "Just having a little fun. Lighten up." I stood there, jaw clenched. My heart raced, not from embarrassment, but anger. The old me would have walked away, swallowed it, but not anymore. I took a breath. "I'm practicing a speech," I said, "for a national C conference." Karen blinked. "Really? You?" "Yes, I'm giving the keynote." Funny, right?" She suddenly looked uncomfortable. "I didn't mean anything by it. I was just joking." "Weird how the joke's only funny to you," I replied, then walked away. Later that day, I shared the story on social media, not to call her out by name, but to shine a light on how casually people mock what they don't understand. The post went viral. 2 days later, I stood on stage in a packed auditorium in downtown Chicago. Thousands of people filled the seats, and countless more streamed the event online. As I walked up to the mic, I felt that old anxiety in my chest, but also fire in my gut. I began with the story of my walk, the woman, the laughter, the mimicry, and how those of us who speak differently are too often expected to be quiet, to take the joke, to disappear into the background. Then I said, "Some people laugh at the way I speak, but today they're listening, and tomorrow they'll be learning from voices like mine." The audience erupted. By the end of my talk, several were in tears. I met educators who asked me to speak at their schools, therapists who said my story would help their clients, and students, many of whom stutter, thanked me just for being visible. When I returned to my sister's neighborhood, I passed Karen again. This time, she avoided eye contact, but I paused, I smiled. Good morning," I said. She turned, flustered. "Listen, I saw your video. I didn't know." "That's the point," I replied. "Maybe now you do." I walked on, holding my head a little higher. My voice may not be perfect, but it's powerful. And in that moment, I realized that speaking out isn't just about talking clearly. It's about being heard, even by those who laughed first.